episode 57. Apparently no one's ready to go. I just asked everyone if they're ready to go. Hey guys, welcome to Into the 99. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel.
I'm Hope.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Zach.
Today we're talking a much more positive topic than the last episode. We're going to discuss expressing yourself with your product you bring out to games and how you build your decks in general. So Zach, take it away and kind of let everyone know what we're going over.
So we're wanting to talk about the different ways you can express yourself with the products you use in game and how you make your choices. So with all the cards that we have available to us in our card pool, like from the many different basic lands to the different foilings of cards, we're just going to kind of talk about like what you choose and why you choose it. So,
I express myself with dance.
So this is going to be Brian's last episode on the podcast.
You're still in your probation period. I don't think you have the right to call that yet.
Hell yeah.
In general, we all, everyone has different things that are going to attract them to certain commanders, things that are going to want them to play more, do more. Like everyone has their own. Do you like foils? Do you not like foils?
I love foils.
I'm so over foils.
But your
Just give me
your opinion
foils.
doesn't count.
Honestly, before we even go further, I really like that they've started offering foil and non-foil versions of their products.
Me too, especially the fun, nice art things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm so happy that, like, I can get them normal instead of just foil. Because, like, you would think that something like that, it would just be, like, extra fancy, right? Like, it's foil. Like, it'll be, like, up to, like, that next level, you know? Like, and I just don't much care for that. A lot of the things, especially, like, using Zendikar as an example, I found that the, what's it called? The like
Expedition.
No, the showcase stuff.
Yep.
The colors were really vibrant, and really beautiful.
Oh, that Lotus Cobra?
But as soon as they got foiled, it kind of like dulled that a little bit.
It takes away from it, yeah, because they've got to do so much more treatment to the card.
Yeah, so I found that I didn't find that the colors were as vibrant once they hit the foiling.
I noticed that specifically with the Lotus Cobra.
I noticed that with the Omnoth.
I haven't seen the Omnoth in its foil versus not foil, but with that Lotus Cobra, like the non-foil Lotus Cobra looks significantly better.
Yeah, well, it's just like to each their own, right? Like it's very vibrant, it's very rich and highly saturated. And I found that the foil, just because like if it's not hitting the light right, it loses some of that.
Oh, interesting.
So I mean, it's just like to each their own, right? Like I'm not a big fan of foils. I see no need for them. If I can find something in non-foil, that's the way I'm gonna go, typically. But also, I'm happy with not spending a ton of money. And for me, like I'd rather have like a different art. Like I really liked what they did with the showcase stuff in Zendikar. I really like what they did with the comic book frame stuff in Ikoria.
Oh, I loved the comic book frame.
The showcase framing in Throne of Eldraine. Like I think that is really cool.
Before we before we go into all these topics, I just want to ask everyone, like, what makes you want to build a commander, Brian? Like when you look at it, like what draws you to a commander?
First off, I guess it's what are their like abilities that like I first would want to build around, or like again, essentially, why do I want to build this commander?
Yeah.
But then it's like, so I guess for me is I picked up off of Mythic Blackcore like a few alt art cards for certain commanders that I have. So such as my Kalia, I have it as a Khaleesi from Game of Thrones. Yeah, like a Daenerys. So I have now redone my dragon deck, or my Kalia deck, to be a dragon tribal, as she is the mother of dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's obviously foil.
I find that so interesting because, like, for me, like, the thing that draws me first is always the art first, mechanics later. Which is so, I don't know why, but, like, I see the art and I'm like, that's dope, I'm gonna make it work. You know? And that's just always been my vibe, yeah.
How about you, Zach? What makes you want to build a commander?
Is it black? And can I play out of the graveyard?
That's a fair way to look at it.
Those are a lot of, like, what draws me is, like, how, black's my favorite color in Magic, so I don't always build black decks, but I've found that black decks appeal to me a lot more because I like a lot of the ideology behind the color black and just the things that black offers in its color pie. But also, if I can play out of the graveyard, like I've talked to you guys, I've been trying to work on this Azorius Reanimator deck. So like, I like trying to take those weird, like kind of like an awkward approach to different color pairings. Stuff that like, is it possible to make this deck do something that the colors aren't known for doing as their primary role? So if a commander appeals to me in that way, that's how I like to build it.
I like that.
What about you, Daniel?
For me, it's either
Every
art.
commander.
Is it legendary?
It is either art or the lore in general. I am really drawn to the lore if I think a character's cool or does something cool. Or there's only one. It's the Rama Daragaz.
The what?
Daragaz is brilliant. Rama Daragaz. But anyways, it's Daragaz. I could be wrong on that. Don't.
Reanimated?
Yeah.
Daragaz?
But anyways, his card sucks, but his lore's really good.
His lore's super good. All the primeval dragons, super good lore.
Yeah.
Primeval dragons of Dominaria. Check it out, baby.
Yeah, but his lore's great. His card is just terrible.
Lore rules.
They did him wrong. They did him dirty.
They did him super dirty. They're like, eggs.
But other than that, like that's why I built Multani. I was like, oh, that's like a really cool lore-wise commander. Yeah. And then I actually found Multani from the Muldrotha. I was like, oh, like the quote on Muldrotha is from Multani. I was like, I'll read what Multani is, and I was like, this is a pretty cool
down
guy.
A rabbit hole, did you?
This is a cool place.
This is a cool place. Didn't Multani like give up their spark?
No, Multani wasn't a planeswalker.
No, well, there are a lot of people like Rado could have been a planeswalker and gave up their spark in amending.
That's not what this was.
Okay, for some reason,
I could be wrong.
What happened with
I could be wrong again. Multani will go over in an episode.
All right.
Multani, I just like
Daniel has no idea what the lore is.
No, I just know that. I like the lore so much. Yeah, tell me about
it. So they're a tree, kind of.
Listen, man. Listen, don't call me like that.
They sway, they do tree things.
No, I just really like that he locked Urza up into a tree because he was so mad about Adam.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like Urza in the story. Let me tell you,
almost like Urza's not a good guy.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. But so we want to go over just sort of what people build. For everyone listening, also tell us what draws you to a commander. What makes you want to play it? Are you a mechanics first, art second? Do you like the art? Are you just like a tribal fanatic? Like this legendary elf? I'm building it.
Yeah, right.
We're doing it.
So my next big question for you guys, and this goes along with how we build, how important is it that you have matching lands?
Don't care.
Don't care at all.
No.
Don't care at all. I know so many people, like literally with Zendikar, I had so many people come in, they're just like, I need 40 of this exact land. And I'm like,
good luck, buddy.
Tough.
Like, well, it's pretty easy, the basics, but I'm just like, that's so wild to me. But
I just go with foil lands. Like, if I have foil lands, I will slot them in over any non-foil land.
Matching lands, oh, you mean the duels?
I'm like, oh, like a stack. I'm like, oh, I just grab like a stack of forests, I grab a stack of swamps, I grab a stack of plains, and I'm just like, I just count them out. I don't care what's on them. The fact that they're all the same land, that's the important part.
Here's my deck building process. I find a legendary creature, I go to the store, buy 97 cards for it for some reason. Then I have to cut a bunch of cards. Then I get home and realize I didn't buy any basic lands. So then I have to tear through drawers looking for forests because I think I have every forest in my collection in decks.
You do.
I really like green a lot.
Yeah, but that's it. It's do we have 12 in the house? Okay. Those are the 12 we're using.
Yep.
So
I on the other hand match as much as possible.
Zach, you have a stroke playing with me in person. My cards aren't even faced the same way when I play, man. I hold them upside down in my hand. It infuriates Brian and Hope.
So
that should be illegal.
Yep.
It should be, I agree. But yeah, they have to, for me, they have to match. It bothers me when they don't match. It doesn't have to be they all have to be foil.
They're actually all up the right way.
No, they won't be. Oh, there we go.
It's...
they all have... If one of them's foil, they all have to be foil. If I'm using white border, they all have to be the same white border, land. Same thing if I build, who's a good example? My Griselda Monster Master deck, which I don't know if you guys have actually got to see, but all my lands are all from Innistrad because she does a bunch of Reanimator stuff, and those are the lands I feel like best exemplify a Reanimator commander in Rakdos colors.
That's fair.
So a lot of the time it's it just helps to push the theme of my deck even further.
For me, in general, I only match if it's Snowlands, and even then I don't care what iteration of Snowland it is.
Yeah, I'm just always, as long as I have all my foil lands set up to the side, so when I'm building a new deck, if I have foil lands of the cards that I want, I will put them into my decks.
So we went, we've talked about lands now. Something else I kind of want to talk about, especially with kind of the stuff we brushed on our last episode with the Secret Lair cards. How do you feel about proxies? Do you use them? And if so, why do you use them? Or why wouldn't you use them?
I feel like that's a bigger topic, but I'll give the general consensus from like me and the people I play with the most. That's proxy what you want, play what you want. Like I just want to see your deck go off. Like if you're putting 10 proxies in and you're making a deck, you're still out supporting your local game store. You're still out buying cards for it. I don't think you should proxy entire decks. But like again, like are you going to not build the deck because you don't want to spend $100 on one card, or if you spend that $100 on dual land, you're not able to buy it? I don't know. I prefer people to spend money at your LGS. If you don't have access to a card or it's not available, proxy it, test it out that way, and see.
And I like alt art proxies, so like Mythic Blackcore I mentioned earlier.
Definitely try and make them look different so that they're distinguishable.
Yeah.
Never try to sell someone a proxy. Oof.
Yeah, no, that's bad. And sorry.
No, go ahead.
And that's why I like having the alt art proxies, because I know which ones are actually proxies.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Like, I'm not going to have the exact same art as what the actual card is. I'll have it different.
Yeah. Zach, your thoughts?
I personally, I like getting proxies, but only the alt art proxies as well. That's part of, once again, like, through my deck builds a lot of the times, I started doing all this stuff because my heroic intervention articles, like if I'm building a deck, there's a theme I have in my mind that I'm trying to constantly create. So I'll try to find alt art that fits the card. I have most of everything that I proxied aside from maybe 2 cards, but everything else is just like, oh, this is a Phyrexian Altar, which I have 5 of, but like I want this specific art because it fits.
Well, and yeah, if it's thematic as well, like Brian said with his Mother of Dragons one, like, it's not changing what Kalia does or anything. It just is a cool, like, Brian likes Game of Thrones, if you don't know.
Yeah.
And also...
one of my... I'm sorry, go ahead, Hope.
No, it's okay.
That was one of my favorite things that I liked about Brian's, like, when I first saw that deck when Brian played, I was just like, this is the kind of way I like to proxy. Like, it looks cool and it fits the theme super well.
I was going to say kind of to that end with, like, proxied altars, just like altars in general. Like, I'm into. I like that. Those are dope.
We're recording early. I'll just quickly jump ahead and get this out of the way. The reason, if you're watching the video, that Hope's not paying attention is because we have a new sponsor.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to zone out. I was just like squirreling playing with these.
So introduce them.
Yeah, let's quickly talk about our sponsor, Etch Gaming.
Sorry, guys. So it's Etch Gaming on Instagram and Etsy. So he makes these really cool like accessories. So there's like,
they're so fun you won't pay attention to what you're doing.
They're so fun that you don't pay attention to what you're supposed to.
Yeah, I've been playing with the exact same thing, just wheeling them back and forth, and they're all magnetic. So if you get different colors, you're able to attach them. So like
the quality, just looking at these first off, I already thought they looked great. But the quality of these products is just nuts. Like, Zach's got one there in the video for audio only listeners.
Yeah, deck box. Oh, so pretty.
For audio only listeners, just trust me, you're going to want to buy stuff from him. But in general, like, just looking at the product he creates, like, his commander trays, it's all such quality stuff. And that actually goes a little bit into what we wanted to talk about, where that's people bring different things to express their thing. Like, this is bling upon bling. Yeah,
be back in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bling is nice. That's something that I really like because it's a nice way to like express your style within your game.
These feel good. You're going to get comments on these for sure. Well,
I also really liked all the counters, right? Because I was talking to Daniel about this the other day. I was playing his Time deck, and he's talked about it before. But because when every other creature enters, it gets a vigilance counter. It's just like I was doing the same thing. I'm like, my purple dice will be vigilance counters because I'm like, I don't have the pop out ones. So he has these awesome vigilance counters in addition to all the other like keyword counters. They're super dope.
For everything we do, it's all sleeves, playmats. We all like to show off our own individual playstyle. Like Brian just got the doubling season playmat, loves it. I also love it. I have it sitting on my desk. It's a great looking playmat.
My Nicol Bolas one that Sherman and Brian got for me last year, I bring it with me everywhere. I love it.
Yeah, and we all do. That is another part of the reason I wanted to jump ahead into it is that is part of expressing yourself. Like, you also bring other things out with it. Commander's not just the cards you play. It's the whole thing. My brothers, animals. They all play without playmats. Anyone listening who plays without playmats, animals. Take that to the bank.
Well, I was also going to say, like even it's no different than people putting stickers on their like archives.
Yeah.
Or like bringing out, like the big boxes, the big like square boxes that they used to have.
The white ones?
No. They're
archive?
They're like fat packs, but big.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I can't remember.
I was just saying, yeah, because... No clue which one's Hope. Try and...
Okay, well, they're like fat packs, but big.
Okay.
Essentially. It's like 3 rows
the Daniel
of fat
packs.
Yeah. You know
like the white boxes?
No.
Like,
That's what I said,
they have
Brian.
art on them.
I have no idea.
That's why they're like fat packs. Anyways, I can't remember why, but like, when you have one of those, or you put, like I said, you put stickers on your archives, or whatever it may be, or even the fact that like I have my Magic the Gathering bag, like I have my my messenger bag.
Yeah. That
is like Magic the Gathering. It's got all the guild symbols on it, and that's what I bring out to the store, and like people always comment on it, and it's like we go out of our way to like be fancy,
Is this what you're talking about, Hope? Zach found one.
Where? Show me.
The holiday collector boxes.
I can't see.
1 second.
Maybe.
Show it to me. Show me the side. Yes.
Oh, I remember those
fat
boxes.
packs, but bigger.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you. God, I couldn't think of it. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Before I started like really like doing things correctly in Magic, all my commander decks was in this. I had commander decks in each row.
So many of the old guys do that.
Let me bring you
back
to an old day. I used to argue with people that sleeves were a waste of money, and I used to argue deck boxes were a waste of money. So my brothers all had their decks sleeved, and I just had rubber bands around my decks.
Oof.
Yeah,
Oof.
Like a savage.
But yeah, with getting our package from Etch, I'm so excited to give my commander a home and a stage to show them off with this new commander tray.
Well, and the fact that it's got like the
has the
number, the number of casts. That's the thing, because I always get absolutely slapped with counters and destruction on my commanders, so I'm really stoked.
And then the life at the bottom for
so
when
fancy.
we get back to actually playing out in person.
Wow.
Well, I'm very excited to bring these out. I play in person a lot with a more competitive group.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a very fun thing to have out on the table as well today.
Yeah.
It's another thing to bring your game to the next level, right? I'm sure everyone has played with someone who doesn't come with their own dice and whatever. It's me. I'm someone. But everyone does that, and it happens and stuff. It's nice. Brian is usually the one who I'm borrowing dice from. I have a big toolbox of dice, but I never bring it.
Yeah, well, it's a ridiculous amount of dice. Like, we have the toolbox for at home, but I also have like my little dice bag that I bring with me.
But so any of these accessories you bring,
But that's even another example. My mom crocheted me that little dice bag.
Yeah.
I love it. I bring it everywhere.
My mom made me one too.
Cute.
Twins.
Aw, cute.
The Gales.
Yeah, different Gales, different moms.
That's funny.
Thank
I didn't
God.
even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both named Gale.
Yeah, there's just so much you can do. Like, even people go out and they get the custom acrylic dice. Different colors.
Or have people resin cast their dice.
Yeah. With nerd stuff, like D&D and Magic
D&D's all
and
about
everything.
that dice flex.
Yeah, I have nice blue-green metal dice. Am I going to be rolling that around my cards? No.
I really want to get a nice dice tower because we roll dice so much while we play. I'd love to have one for the table.
Yep.
Some of those are...
What kind of... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I love the dice towers. But I wanted to know, while we're here, do you have a favorite accessory, Brian? Obviously, you love those dice, but, do you have a favorite Magic accessory?
Oh, probably, I like my playmats and the archives, because again, I started putting stickers on it. But when War of the Spark came out, they gave us those stained glass stickers, so I got my Lily on there. It's just there's so much, and then
Hope?
I have a favorite.
What's yours?
It's the Commander Anthology Life Counters.
Oh, I do. Those are phenomenal. That is a Magic product that we need a new replacement of. Yep. I have a Sensei's Divining Top one.
Yeah.
That is unpainted and unfinished.
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, but
I'll finish it.
It's a really, really cool one. I'll post a picture of it on Instagram.
That's dope.
But my favorite is probably either I have a few signed playmats. One is Aula, Queen of Bears. Really like that playmat. That is a awesome playmat. Hope got me that one for my birthday.
Bear Force 1?
Bear Force 1. And then I really like my Tarmogoyf playmat. Like the
Tarmogoyf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it just... The what?
So you're just like, I really like my Tarmogoyf playmat. Like and I'm like, Tarmogoyf?
No, I was going to say, like, the colors on it are just, like, so fantastic.
You just stopped.
The new whatever Ultra Pro's been doing with their new ones, those colors are intense.
Yeah,
like
they've done a really good job.
I just got the Exploration and the other...
Doubling season.
Exploration and Doubling Season, but I also ordered Anawan and Obun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited for those to come in. The color is just phenomenal. But other than that, I do really like a lot of people really like an app for counting your life. I don't know. I don't like phones on the table when I'm playing.
I like dice or the
life counters.
Yeah, the life counters.
Or these now.
Yes, or these. Like I'm just so stoked. Like this just adds so instead of dice, we're gonna have these +1/+1 tokens and counters. And so we're not so dice will be left for this is how many saplings I have.
By the time this one's done, there will be a giveaway done for some of these. So hopefully when you guys have some of these as well to play around with, we've got some extra tokens. Etch has been a great sponsor, and they've given us a bunch of stuff to pass out. So make sure you guys show them some love, and hopefully someone has won some of these by then.
Dun, dun, dun.
Zach, how about you, bud? We skipped you.
So I've got 3 things that come to mind. So my first is my favorite playmat. A friend actually got it for me. I'm a really big fan of Commander Versus, and I went to the Magic Fest. I'm sorry, SCG Con in Roanoke, and I got Justin Parnell to sign his.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Super nice guy. I was really excited about that. I'm also a really big Ultimate Guard fan, so I really like their Zip Folio.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Those are solid.
So
I like
nice.
the stickers.
Yeah, thank you. Night Shift is one of my favorite clothing companies, and then Magnemite. And then I really like
Shout out Night
Ultimate
Shift.
Give me all this.
Shout out Pokemon.
Night Shift. That's going to cost you $18.
Really, as you guys can see behind me, I'm a huge fan of Ultimate Guard's boulders.
Yeah.
If I own all the colors they have out, so I've since had to move to their deck cases, but if all those colors were in boulders, I would have them in boulders because they're my favorite deck boxes ever.
Speaking of all the colors, I also have all the colors of Dragon Shield and Eclipse sleeves because I have what the kids call no self-control.
Big mood. I wish Eclipse had more colors. Oh my god, Eclipse sleeves are nice. Sorry, Zach, go ahead.
And what's your third one?
Oh, you're fine. So those were my 3, but I do want to give a shout out to one of my friends. I'll have to get him to send me a picture of his deck box, but have you guys seen those Sidewinder deck boxes that if you touch them, they'll leave like
the Xeno skin.
Yeah, so he's really into the Phyrexian stuff, and he has went through on a black deck box, and he's taken this lime green that glows in the dark, and he's went through and he's like added like it looks kind of like etchings, and then he made the Phyrexian symbol on it. I'll get my buddy to send it to me, and we'll post it on our Instagram.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
He's a super talented artist. Fez, if you're listening, you're great. But that was something I just wanted to shout out. It's like I'm not a very artistically inclined person outside of like my tokens, but seeing people that are able to do that stuff, it takes expressing yourself to another level.
Speaking of that, with the Phyrexian, show that infect counter.
I can't.
Oh, it's
I'm too short.
There's Etch has a really nice. Yeah, Zach's got a closer one too. For anyone watching, like it is just such a quality piece. Like, oh, I cannot wait to. I'm gonna buy a bunch of those so I can just slap them down on the table.
Totally. I was gonna say with regards to deck
I'll hit
boxes,
you with Inkmoth Nexus. They're like, okay, slap.
I was gonna say with regard to deck boxes, also like one of my favorites is the Game Genic ones.
Ooh. Those are really cool
dope.
ones.
And they're like a new one.
They're
to
interchangeable.
Me, to us. Yeah, they're interchangeable. They're magnetic. They feel almost like denim.
Game Genic's version of the archive is also so really good. Quality.
You have it like upside down. You just shake it. It doesn't open.
Yeah, they've got super solid magnets.
magnets.
I really like I have all the archives colors that are out, but I also have there's another company called Dex, and they make a really solid box.
Velcro.
Yeah, they use Velcro for it, and that thing, like, that's not going anywhere. Your cards, like, you can throw those ones.
That's how it sounds when you open it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's go ahead, Zach.
So with all the deck boxes that we prefer and all the sleeves that we prefer, something I'm kind of curious about: do your deck boxes have to match your colored sleeves? Do they have to be the same brand?
Nah.
Oh, Zach, if only you knew.
Yeah, we couldn't. It would be literally impossible. Maybe if we are less of animals, but like it would be impossible. I couldn't. I'm just happy. I'm just happy that we have like enough. We don't even have enough archives for decks, so I'll just take what I can get.
I have 21 commander decks within reach.
Yeah,
I always keep that thing on me.
Always.
So yeah, like for me, there'd be no way. Like I couldn't. There's not enough colors. That would be too many archives.
And what I started to do was take like the top off of one and put that on the bottom of a different color.
Yeah,
nice, interchangeable.
Fun. Yeah, make them different.
The boulders are a really good product. I really like the sidewinders. All my competitive decks are in the sidewinders because I like to identify which ones I can grab whenever I want, but they're all full like dual lands and expensive stuff like that. So I feel they need a little more protection than sitting out loose.
Yeah, like I keep my favorite decks in like specific. I have one. My dragon deck is in Sidewinder, and then my Atraxa deck is in Game Genie Finder.
Speaking of the way we play and everything, I've never once used the archives the right way. I understand very well that they're meant for like X amount of decks and a playmat. Nah, that's more decks go.
Yeah, 3 more decks.
Yeah, I bring
sideways.
I bring too many decks out with me when I play.
Yeah.
So I usually
8.
just like
minimum.
Oh,
eight per archive.
Yeah.
I always do that, and then I just like stuff a bunch of dice in between them so the cards don't slide in the playmat slot. I never use the dice
Put
tray
D20s,
once.
yeah. D20s in between, then they don't slide.
I don't know if it's easy to see, but I've got 3 of the archives behind me, and I always bring at least 2 with me, so I have at least 8 decks.
Well, for our LGS, we go to Ogre's Den in Calgary, and Ogre's Den Gaming Club has a lot of active Commander players. Like pre-coronavirus, there was
like 30.
Oh, more than that.
No. We have 30 that come out now.
Yeah, it's
in our limited.
We had
state.
Probably 50 to 60 like active players
every Friday,
and then another group Monday, and then people throughout the week dropping in. So we had so generally when we went out, none of us really pre-coordinated who we played with. All of us just kind of showed up and made pods depending on who got there.
Who arrived, yeah.
So you played
and
with
then
so
who
many,
died.
Yeah, you played with so many different people. Lots of bigger games, lots of stuff like that. So
Commander.
Yeah, I always like to bring out different power level decks so I could play with like the different people. Yeah, like I've got like some pre-con level decks. I've got like some more powerful pub stompy decks, and then I've got like full out competitive decks for if my brothers are out, or there's a few people we play with, like Kevin.
Kevin's a little bit more aggressive. Yeah,
Kevin. Yeah, some people like the competitive play style, but I personally find when I only brought one, or like I used to bring just one of the little archives instead of the super hives. I used to bring one of those, and that
was not enough.
Right? Yeah, it would be like I brought Prosh and then like Prosh elves, and so everything was a little too tuned for the average table.
Yeah,
that's what I try to. That's what I try to do. My LGS isn't. We have a lot of Commander players, but there aren't we don't play Commander there. A lot of us, we just go back to one of our houses and play. So I've gotten more used to having to play at events and having to play at Star City events, Magic Fest, what have you. So that's what I started doing. Was I was bringing 2 archives with me, and I was trying to scale the power levels accordingly. I'd keep it intact. Pre-con built from one of the years, and then I would scale up accordingly with decks that I like playing, from right out of the box pre-cons to as powerful as I could possibly make.
Well, and yeah, I don't know, I think it's nice to have different power levels of things. My problem is I always, a lot of the time for anyone who plays with me in Calgary, you'll notice I pull a second chair up, and that's usually where I stuff my archives onto, because I bring so many deck boxes and things with me. Yeah, I'm 2 chairs wide when I play.
Plus your cards.
Oh, my feelings.
No, there's just so much that you're just the market. I guess with the boom of Commander and just Magic in general, the amount of product to help let you express yourself has
bring
really
your
just,
idea to life. Yeah.
Even especially, I love that Wizards is bringing out their own alt cards. But there's so many other artists. Like, I think, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Like MLL something on Instagram. And I've seen her paint, I think, 4 or 5 different Halden and Pacos.
Kira Nefarium on Instagram. She makes super, super nice extensions. Hope also.
As well,
all of my shrines, like...
Those shrines are gorgeous.
Those are in the order of people I like.
It's true. It's true. The one that Brian mentioned, just so we can shout her properly, it's MLLIZAVX MTG altars. So
yeah, and she's done Dan showed off his Halden and Paco. I was thinking of playing it, and like she made like Scooby Doo. Like
the Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. I thought those were hilarious.
Yeah, I love them. I loved that idea, and I think she's done like 3 or 4 iterations for different people.
There's an amazing altar community.
Hope did Heavy Metal Joda for Tyrone.
I did, yeah. It was pretty sweet.
I need to see this.
Yeah,
you haven't seen it? Oh, it's awesome.
So. It's a pretty cool.
It's on my Instagram. Check it out, HB Altars. But no. But even like right now, there's a group of altars that are doing like an altar October thing.
Oh yes.
So I'm gonna be
October.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be working on that with them. I'm really excited.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that'll be really fun, and then probably do like a sailor giveaway or something. But anyways,
nice. Is there something you like to see the most across the table from you? Like something that you're like, all right, like this guy cares about what they're playing. Like this person, you like to see like altars or extensions or
that's like my whole thing. Like whether it's a proxied altar or like a hand painted altar, I'm like I just like different art, and that just I think comes from me like being into that, obviously. But that's what I like.
Brian.
I would love to see your brothers using mats.
Oh, like I said, it's crazy. I have probably 40 playmats. I have so many. I have like stacks of playmats. Like I have a whole desk covered in playmats. My desk I build decks on. It's just covered in playmat. I'll give them playmats. I'll buy them whatever they want. Just please.
Like I love seeing like someone that like it's almost like you're going out to. I almost want to think of like the etiquette. Like
I was gonna say Brian's enforcing a dress code.
Yeah.
Ooh, we don't do that here. Sorry.
Well, it's like going out to like
socks and sandals if you want, but playmat, please.
Like I keep thinking of the etiquette account, like the etiquette thumbnail that Eddie did for us, where it's like the place setting.
Dining, yeah,
the place setting. I'm like nice mat. I have my deck and a nice sleeve over here. I'm just like everything's perfect. And like I love seeing people with their own dice and or tokens for their own cards.
Magic is
I'm terrible at that. I'll be honest.
One of our writers, Dante, wrote like a really good article about that, about bringing your own tokens instead of the "you'll be a soldier" and you're like, a soldier.
At Dante Informal.
Yeah, here's my plant tokens, buddy. That's a D20.
Well, let's plant tokens now.
It's I have noticed that it is not great on webcam play. To have to represent your cards that way, because I find a lot of people, they're like, I swing at you, and I'm like, I have 40 zombie tokens. They're like, oh. Well,
that's what that was. I thought that was your life.
Even like,
I thought that was just 2 dice sitting there.
Well, and even like in person play, like it's just nicer. Like when you can look up at the table and very clearly see, like
visually,
that's something that I personally want to work on.
I'm horrible for that because I live the token life.
Well, because even if I have like, I only have a single plant token,
at least then I can represent it there.
Then you can see it and be like, is that counters on the token or is that number of tokens?
Well,
and I'm happy either way.
I have a Risk the Redeem deck, and the whole point is making tokens, and then often it's like, here's my Sandward Convergence tokens, here's my Elf tokens.
These are my Elf Warriors.
Yeah, here's some Wolf tokens. Yeah. I've made some plant tokens with Avenger of Zendikar. Yeah, here's my Divine Intervention tokens. I have Essence of the Wild. Like, I've got a lot just going on.
Yeah, it's just an absolute nightmare. Oh, I know exactly what he's getting. Zach just got up, and I know exactly what he's getting. Yeah. He's getting tokens that represent everything. That's exactly what he's doing.
We definitely have to reach
Matt
out.
Daw also has those.
Yeah, we've got to reach out and get sponsored by these guys for sure. I love watching Matt draw them.
And watching Zach draw them, it's so funny. They're literally whiteboard tokens.
The Canadian Moose!
We played a really, really fun game over at one of my friends' houses. We were playing just some kitchen table Magic, and
like a year ago.
Everyone had an Elish Norn but Hope.
Yeah.
While she's trying to play a casual Tolsmir deck. So yeah, everyone had like copies of Elish Norn, and Matt just kept drawing out new copies of Elish Norn to throw around the table.
So funny. Like with the full like head thing. Yeah, it was awesome.
Is this Elish Norn or is this a Stingray?
What were you saying, Zach?
If anyone's curious, these are Infinity tokens, infinitytokens.com. They come in a couple different things. You can get the cards like this. They also have little, they look like little tokens. They're circular, and you can use those as actual, representation of tokens. I would suggest the Etch Gaming stuff a little bit more because,
Oh, those solid tokens. I cannot wait to flex my Tayam deck.
Right. But I like these guys a lot. They're a lot of fun. I'm really bad at art, but I like to try to pretend I'm not. And on our channel, it's the best place to do it. Whenever I make a token, I typically will go for these. I do have the individual tokens that my decks make always on them. But
I get it. You're a better person than me.
Yeah, I just have my tokens in one of my 60 card archive or folders.
A fun story. I have probably 500 tokens sleeved. I just don't bring them. They're in one of the white boxes in one of my drawers. Yeah, I know where
they are,
Yeah, I've got so many because I played Edgar Markov lots before. So I have all these vampire ones and the different kind of here's a white vampire with lifelink, here's all of that. I just never bring them.
I think the only deck, I have 2 decks that have tokens, and one is the Tolsmir deck because it has Voja and 2 elves.
Yeah, you gotta have that token.
And two wolves.
Oh, and you have to, if you play Merit Lage, you have to have that token. Yeah, obviously. You flip a card upside down? Nuh-uh.
Give me that 2020, baby.
Yeah.
But also my Sylvia and Corvat deck has a soldier and a dragon. Just one of each.
You guys know how much I love making token copies of anything. A lot of my shapeshifters, my blue-black lives off deck. So I always have to have something that I'm able to actually represent what the creature is, whether it's a dry erase or something.
Well, what have you?
There's I have always enjoyed seeing the Infinity tokens. I really don't think enough people play them.
I think they're such a great idea. I literally just pulled up their website on my phone so I don't forget to buy some later.
They're so funny. I couldn't draw. I can barely print my name, let's be honest.
That's half the fun.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're really good icebreakers, too.
That's a wolf token. Let me tell you, buddy, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I do think you are right, though, exactly. It is a good icebreaker. It's something that not everyone's really comfortable meeting new people and talking to new people, so it is a way to kind of be all right, these guys are a little sillier, and
yeah, and you can. It's a lot easier to get down with your homies, as it were.
I had a Brutaclad deck that I took to SCG Con last year.
That'd be fun,
especially because your tokens are always changing.
Exactly. So the whole idea behind that deck is to make copy tokens of literally everything. So I would, when I sat down and people saw his Brutaclad, the pod was kind of
is it?
This guy, this guy's probably going to try to pub stomp us or whatever. But when I brought out my tokens and started drawing, they realized, this guy's we're just having fun. I'm not trying to do anything overpowered. And that's kind of the thing. It helps to get people talking. It helps to really make the game more interesting. And I had no problems. I was drawing people tokens even as they were horribly beating me. I was losing so bad. I still was making tokens for them. Hey, here, use this. It's fun.
There we go. Brian's fixed his thing.
I would say sometimes it's not about winning. It's about sometimes it's just about drawing dumb stuff for your new friends.
Well, and I think as well that when you bring stuff like that out, you show that you care about the interaction you're having with people a little bit more. So like we were talking about with the dice, you care about the experience. You don't want to bog the game down because you didn't bring it. A lot of people, Magic's a visual game. That's, I think, the biggest problem with proxies is that people don't want to see someone write Scrubland on a mountain, right? You want to see across the table. I know that's a Smothering Tithe.
Yeah.
Right. That's why the foreign cards don't bug people so much because we know what it does. You can do whatever.
Yeah. That was something. I was playing against somebody the other day that had if you have one or two max in your deck proxies that are just don't written down because you're testing or whatever, but they had, I would say probably 10% of their deck was that, and I'm I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. So you like to be able to look across and see, right? And it's the same thing on a playmat.
I don't know what that does.
I think one of the nice things about having a playmat when you come out, I know we're beating a dead horse with this rolled up playmat, but the one of the nice things is that you kind of keep everything on your own spot a little bit. You're not spreading out super wide across the table.
Yeah. You have your confined area.
Me comes with a 6-foot playmat. Let's spread it on.
Yeah.
I'm more inclined to like. I don't care about proxies like we had spoken about, but I'm more inclined to like if someone has an entire proxy deck, wouldn't bother me if every card is actually like art.
The artwork of it or alternate art of something.
Yeah, like if you're writing everything down, that's very frustrating. But if you've taken the time, like, hey, I didn't have the money to buy this scrubland, but instead I got this, $6 scrubland proxy that looks like this, I'm so much more likely to just be like, oh, that's cool. Can I see that? Where'd you get that from?
Yeah,
that's
whatever.
Neat.
Yeah, like I said, as long as you're out buying some cards, like if you're
supporting someone.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like don't not play the game because things are expensive, because it is. Like I'm never going to tell someone like, nah, don't eat this month so that you can have a dual land and stuff, right?
Yeah,
like,
no.
For not everyone can afford to go buy these crazy cards to upgrade their decks, but like, I don't care if someone pays like $4 for that, but I do agree that when it's written down just on a piece of paper, I'm like, come on, man, put a little effort.
It's hard to tell what's happening.
Printer go.
Yeah, money printer go. Brrr.
Go to the library, print it out.
They actually won't do that.
Really?
Yeah, most. No, not that at all. Most stores, like Staples, anything like that, will not print you Magic cards.
That's
because
not the library.
Well, most places that you can go print stuff like that where you have to take it out, Wizards has sued them.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we can't stop the library. The library, you have access to the computers. They're not printing it for you.
What if that librarian catches you?
Wizard sues the Calgary Library.
Better hope that you were quiet.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. But like,
that printer's not quiet enough.
Shh.
Get out of my head, Brian. Stop.
Librarian yelling at
Is there
printer?
any product you think Magic needs? Like something that is not widely available but that you've seen? One of the people we play with, his name's Chuck. He brings out, the spin down life counters that you get. Mm-hmm. He has a custom one, and it has the 3. It goes up to the hundreds of life.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Oh, it's just lovely.
It is really nice, yeah. I always forget about that, but yeah, I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, "What is this?"
First time I saw it, we were doing just a pre-release.
Yeah. You were like,
he's dropping this down. I'm like, what kind of standard nonsense have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, I think they need flex. They need to add an extra wheel.
Yeah.
Give us a third wheel.
Well, I mean, Commander players often hit like ridiculously high life. Or even ridiculously high counts of tokens.
Well, you get that little
scoot form.
You get that thing, and then you're just like, well, I go to 100. My
Here's
D20.
Another thing we talked about a little bit on the last episode, the upkeep trigger reminders, or just trigger reminders in general that something happens.
People put a dice.
Yeah, for a lot of people, I have seen a lot of people put a dice on their deck. That's like the really common one.
Yeah,
just put a dice on their deck so they remember before they draw.
Has one.
I think those are hilarious.
These are so good. I had no idea that these were coming.
A lot of movement on the podcast.
Yeah, a lot of movement. This audio format.
No one's seen. Yeah, that
wow.
Does look nice there, Brian. Upon thy upkeep, forget not what thou have earned. Thou hast earned.
The hast.
Reading's hard.
Yeah. Old English is hard.
Ye old English.
So one of my favorite artists in Magic the Gathering is RK Post. And I got to meet him, and he had these, and I thought they were so cool.
Oh, I do really like those
I
tokens
love those
that people
too.
do.
They're
I
so
have
good.
2.
Yeah.
I have my zombie, which is the Night King.
Do you have a treasure? Do you have a treasure?
No,
I have a treasure.
I have a dragon.
Connor has a treasure, and then the spirit one.
Oh man, I can't even
Dragon's
I got
too.
that. Yusuke Spirit, Haunter Spirit, Magnemite Servo.
I'll have to. When I can find the link of one of the players in our play group, he bought a big. It's a collection of common tokens.
Oh yes.
It's Corey's tokens. Yeah, and they're these really really nice full art drawn.
Oh,
yeah.
I love those. Yeah. Yes, we gotta find that.
Those are
awesome.
Those are really really nice. Where it's just like all those. I love those white backed ones. I really really like them. Like I've seen a lot of people do a lot of the tokens in tattoo style as well, kind of like the secret layer ones. Those are really solid tokens.
I
just love the creativity that comes into a lot of these different things. Like, it's just, you have a favorite TV show, you have a favorite movie, or a video game, or something like that.
Take it back to Magic, even a favorite guild.
Yeah.
I saw like the Is It deck box, like I'm going to go buy that one. Even just the Theros playmats. I love the Pokemon lands.
Oh, yes.
So I bought a bunch of those ones.
Yeah, I got the Go Gary deck box.
That's the one that we just bought. I was looking over. I was like, which one do we get?
Yeah, we just.
I love the Boros ones. That's when we were playing D&D. That's what all my D&D dice are in. Is the Boros one, and hopes we're in the Selesnya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's just there's so much, and like we even got more to play with now. I can't wait. I just cannot wait to really, I guess, flex.
Yeah,
that's really what this all boils down to. It is a classic flex. I was talking to somebody that doesn't play a lot of Magic, but they started to buy some product, and they were just like, "Well, does this stuff really matter?" Like talking about alt art, talking about foiling, talking about. I'm like, think about somebody with like a car, like a car guy is gonna be like really into that kind of stuff, and they're just like, look at this that I have, and I'm like, it is the exact same thing, but for nerds.
Well, look at a really good example of that.
Look at these spinners I got.
A good example of that is look at the universal reaction to the full art Cultivate. I didn't see one person say that it wasn't good. Some people were like, it shouldn't be a rare. They were wrong. It should be a rare. With that artwork, beautiful. Yeah. And it's full art stuff, like that's like people care about stuff like that. And I have like a full art rampant growth and stuff like that. Like people love seeing stuff like that.
I literally just bought the like promo, I think it's the Friday Night Magic Rex Stage.
Oh, that one is. I keep trying to find it, and I never
finally
find it.
just bought it because I was like, I need it because I love the art and I wanted the full art. I was like, fine, I'll just buy it.
That was with the Sakura Tribe Elder.
Yeah,
I got that as a gift for Hope and stuff. Was the cool Sakura Tribe Elder, like the not normal one?
Yeah.
So that's something we kind of skipped over me when we were talking about, like when we sit across the table, if we see things.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So that's my thing. Is like it's either premium foils from stuff like Secret Lair or like the old like dual decks or the premium decks like Graveborn and what have you, and then Judge promos.
Yeah,
anything like that, like
that Lotus Cobra.
Or the old promos too that they used to do, like from the Lorwyn block, where it wasn't stained glass, but it looked like the foiling was done where it looked like the glass was shattering on the foiling. I love
very like Pokemon Hollow.
I truly believe Wizards left money on the table by not doing Eldrazi stained glass Secret Lair.
Oh my god, that would have been so dope.
People love it.
But anytime I see that kind of stuff, like I'm always like, can I please like look at that card?
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff.
Also, where did you get it?
Yeah, that it's like Zach was saying earlier. It is a nice icebreaker when people have cool stuff like that. I've had lots of people not even playing a game with them, like, oh, like that playmat is sick. Where did you get that? Like, this is.
Can I take a picture of it? Can I? Like. It's...
Yeah, we were doing that for a long time and posting before.
Yeah. Like
even
in the before time.
When I brought in my black core altars to Ogre's Den, like I had people going like
that's
how
really
much?
Cool. Yeah.
Where? I'm gonna have to place myself in order.
That's something that I like about this hobby a lot too. Is like we can express ourselves in so many different ways, and it just goes back to like also being polite. Like if you're excited about something someone has, especially us being Commander players, like if you comment on that, I guarantee you just made a new friend. That's someone that's going to be wanting to play in your pods. Like,
totally, and you made their whole day.
It's been mentioned before that I do like I play League of Legends, so obviously I love like the skins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In like a bunch of decks that have different iterations, like Niv Mizzet, I have all of the different versions of Niv Mizzet, and I just switch out whichever one I'm playing. It's all in my Commander sleeve, so like it's like a real big fat sleeve. But yeah, like people love that. They love alternate versions of it. It's a different way to feel how you play, like you said, and you do make a friend that way. I've seen lots of people that have cool product and they're just like, this is awesome.
You're like, need one, please.
Yeah. Anytime I bring out my D20 spin downs, if someone recognizes I have the Graveborn one, we're good. I'm not targeting him with anything for the whole game.
Oh, hey Zach, you have that Graveborn dice?
Wow.
No. Yes, I do. 20 damage at this guy.
That's super real, though. That is a really real thing. Like, you just become, like, BFFs out of nowhere. It's awesome.
I do also think that one of the things a lot of people are missing is a way to cast their count the times they've cast their commander.
Yes.
In a lot of games, that does get...
not with Etch Gaming.
Yeah, Etch has a really cool version of it. We're really plugging them, but like
we love them.
He's got good product.
Whatever, they're dope. But that is a real thing because, like, I know for me, like, I was said before, like, I get countered really hard usually, and I get my commanders destroyed because a lot of my decks have really have
aggro-y commanders.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get why you would kill Atraxa, but I'll cast her for 18. I don't care.
I don't understand why my Nicol Bolas Planeswalker deck is being targeted.
I don't know why you don't like it.
Would some call you the Queen of Counters?
Some would. Some named Zach. But no, I was gonna say with regards to that, like the way that I do it is I put like how many times I've cast it so far, so I know what my command tax is, right?
Yeah.
But I've seen some people be like, now it's gonna cost this much.
Well,
and I'm like, that is so hard for me to keep up with. Like, no way.
Speaking of that, I one thing a lot of people that I've seen do with counters, they'll have something that puts 1/1 counters on it, and they'll represent the total amount of power and toughness instead of the number of counters, and I hate that.
Yeah. Well, because like that's not how I do it, so then I get confused.
Yeah, and then I'm like, does it have 8 counters? Like, is it a 10 or is it actually
an
an
8?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
But yeah, that's kind of what we wanted to go over today, just the ways to express yourself. Like, obviously, I'd love to hear everyone's opinions on each of these things. Like, is there a product you think is missing? Like, do you have a product you bring out that people just love to see?
Yeah, did we miss something?
Yeah, well, because I'm sure we have.
We
like,
did.
even with regards to, like, just bringing up, like, the Game Genic ones again. Like, nobody's heard of those.
No, never
because
heard of
they're
them.
new. So, it's, like, stuff like that. Like, I want to hear about these new products. So, like, let us know on Instagram. Feel free to slide into my DMs with that sweet, sweet product. So, any of my DMs. Daniel shaking his head. Brian hates me.
You're special.
I need this glow-in-the-dark deck box, though.
Oh my god.
Which
That's
one?
what I'm saying.
The one that Zach's
Slide.
friends apparently made?
Oh, the Phyrexian one? Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I need this.
Yeah, I will have the picture sent to us. I'm texting him now. I'm glad he said something.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to get those posted. Anyways, y'all.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope, where can they find our stuff?
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, H99, H99 Podcast as well. Check out our Discord. We have an awesome community built up over there. We stream every Saturday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Our podcast goes up every Sunday at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Also check out our Patreon for early access and if you want to support us in a different way. Lastly, check out Edge Gaming, one of our sponsors, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks so much, guys.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
See ya.
Did you turn off?